If you're a realtor who's thinking about taking on the task of building your own real estate website, then keep watching. In my last video, I showed you 7 tools that you needed to build your website from start to finish. And in this video series, I'm gonna show you more in depth each one of those tools, give you tips and tricks and how to use them effectively to build a website that drives leads and converts leads into clients and clients into deals. And today we're gonna be talking about website builders like WordPress, everything that you need to know, give you tips and tricks. I'm even going to show you how to set it up and install it so you can build a successful real estate website. So if you're ready to get started, let's dive in. Hey everybody, it's me, Jacob Shireman, your real estate marketing expert. I have over 15 years of marketing experience specializing in web design and SEO, and I take that experience to help you grow your real estate business. So if you want to see more content like this, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I release new content and training. And today we're going to dive into the world of building a website for your real estate business. Now, if you're an agent who wants to build this on your own, maybe you don't have the budget to hire somebody right now, you just need something to get started, or maybe you're a little more techie and you like to build it on your own. Real estate agents tend to do everything on their own. So if this is you and there's no changing your mind to hire somebody, which I highly recommend, whether it's me or not, get a professional to actually build the website. However, if you want to do it on your own, then you're going to want to keep watching because we're going to talk about WordPress. There's so many website builder platforms out there that you can create your website pretty easy with drag and drop widgets and kind of almost edit it like you would Microsoft Word. There's Wix, Weebly, Squarespace, but I'm a person who loves WordPress. I've used this for the last 15 years for all of my clients. WordPress is here to stay. And in my last video, I covered this more in depth on why I recommend WordPress. I think it's built for security. I think it's easy to use. And one thing, whether you do it yourself or you hire somebody, you want to make sure whatever platform you're choosing is going to be able to grow with your business. I see this time and time again. Somebody will build a website for, whether it's a real estate client or whatever industry, and that website was not designed to grow with them. So they constantly have to keep going back and say, oh, I need to add this, or I need to add this, and they want to redesign a whole website. Or if that web designer is no longer around, the other person tells you, hey, we got to redesign this website. And it's not because they necessarily want to make more money and do more work, which obviously that's one of the benefits, but the problem is sometimes that website's not designed to grow with you, and it will take more time editing that website and figuring out what somebody did than versus to build it again in something like WordPress. And WordPress just allows you to easily maintain the site, add new content, which is super important for SEO. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all the tips and tricks. I'm going to show you basically how to install WordPress on your hosting platform, how to set up the admin, and then we're going to log in and I'm going to show you how to install a theme. I'm going to show you how to install pages, how to quickly set up a blog. We're just going to kind of do the basic overview of how to get it set up so you can start building your real estate content, which we're going to cover in other videos as well. So if you're ready, I'm going to share my screen and let's dive into the world of WordPress. All right, so now I'm sharing my screen. We're on my cPanel through my hosting company, StableHost. This is who I recommended in the last video. So if you have questions about that, go watch it. Again, StableHost is pretty inexpensive. They're easy to use. Great server response times, highly recommend it. Now you can use whatever hosting company you want. They just need to be compatible to host WordPress. Now I don't necessarily care for the WordPress only hostings. I haven't used them in a while, but I always go for the shared hosting if you're starting small like this. And the reason why is you get a little more control over your server. Now, once you have your hosting and it's compatible with WordPress, the next thing that you're going to want to do is make sure that your domain name is on your server. So, that it's, if it's jacobshireman.com, that it's in here. And if you're not sure how to do that and how to point your DNS settings and do all your name server setup, you can contact your hosting company or the company that you registered your domain, and they will help you with those settings. It can be a little complicated, but it's not hard, so just contact them. But you're going to want to make sure that your domain is set up, or you're not going to be able to view your WordPress website. Now, the other thing that you want to do is make sure that you have some type of SSL certificate. You can get one for free through Let's Encrypt. You can also purchase one through your hosting company as well. Basically, you're just going to click that and it'll take you here. And then if you want to issue one, you would just click issue and then do all the check boxes. Basically, if you're not doing a subdomain, then you'll need the www and as well as the normal. If you are doing a subdomain, you just uncheck that and then say issue, and it'll let you know if it was issued. Now, the next thing we're going to do is click WordPress here, the WordPress manager. Now this could look different in depending on what hosting. Just find out where you can install the application WordPress. And when you click it, it's going to take you to something like this. You're going to click install, and then it will take you to this screen with options. So now you're going to find your domain name that you want to use. So I'm going to use this one for now, since we're just doing a test site. Use whatever you want. Just remember, don't put it in a directory. The only time you would ever do this is maybe you're just installing a blog to your already built website. So you could do like /blogs, and that'll be the URL. And then give your site name. So we'll just say Houston Realtor. Actually, we'll just say Jacob Shireman, Houston Realtor. And then you can give it a description, this isn't as important. I always like to give it the site name because then you'll see it if you have multiple WordPresses installed. The site description is not important because you're going to set up SEO later. Go ahead and pick your admin username. So if you want to say, admin.yourname, what I do, especially if I have to have other people access it. And then you can put in your email address that you want to use as the admin email, and then set your password. You can have it pick a password. For me right now, it doesn't matter. So we'll just probably do real estate 2023. There we go. And so there we go. And then here they always give you options. Do you want to install certain plugins? I don't really do that because there's nothing here that I want. And then the advanced options is something you can do as well. So the database name, if you want it to be, remember, maybe you're going to have multiple websites on here. So you want each one, so you can identify each one. Then this is where you would do I wanted to remember that this database is WordPress, and maybe I'll just put my initials, JMS. And then over here, I always tend to like to edit these. So I can do that, but you can just leave that the same. This is just a prefix to all of your tables in your database. It's probably, you don't probably understand this, but that's okay. I just tend to make these sometimes the same, just so it's easily identifiable. Now you have the option to auto upgrade WordPress plugins and themes. I always leave these unchecked because sometimes if things aren't updated correctly, sometimes it can cause your crash to site. And I always like to back my website up before any upgrades. So I don't like auto upgrade, but if you want to do that, that's on your own. I just prefer to do it manually. So we'll click install. Now, as long as all of your parameters were correct, it will install your WordPress website automatically, and it's pretty quick. So I obviously didn't do something that was correct. And then let's find out what we have. So I made the mistake. So I already have something in this folder. So since this is a test website, I'm going to add test. You don't need to do this. You're just going to keep it to your domain name. Okay. So we're going to click install again, and then it should be good to go. The reason why you don't want to do that / because that's what somebody will have to type to get to your website. So that'll let them know what folder to install in. So now that we have it installed, you can easily click to view the website. It will just give you the default theme that it has, which, as you can see, is not very good to look at. And then the administrative URL is usually WP-admin. So whatever your website is, /WP-admin, you can click that. Stablehost, if you log in and click that every time, it automatically will log you in. So as you see, this is the WordPress panel, the WordPress admin. And you can see everything here, obviously not much here right now. And this is where we're going to start installing and setting up things. So the first thing that we're going to do before we even put our theme in, let's go down to settings and click general. And this is where you can edit the site title, the tagline. You can put one if you want. You can do something like this, learn about Houston real estate with licensed realtor, Jacob Shireman. So this is the WordPress. Don't change this. You should never need to change this. This is where you can change your admin email if you want to start sending from a different email. And then I don't like to check anyone can register. I just don't have a website that's for that. And if I do, I'll have other plugins that will enable people like my IDX website to register. So I don't need to do that. So since nobody's registering, the default role is subscriber, which means they pretty much don't have access to anything. So you can choose your site's language. Maybe you're in Mexico and you want it in Spanish. You can put that all this turns into Spanish and all the default, like save changes and all that is automatically translated to Spanish. Now this is the important part, time zone. So select your time zone. So pretty much I'm in Houston, so we're in pretty much central time zone like Chicago. So select your time zone. I usually leave all of this standard, and then once you have that, click save. Now we'll go to writing. There's not much more you need done here. Same thing with reading. You don't need to. Discussion. The thing that I like to go change is the permalinks. So permalink basically means instead of giving you this ugly page ID equals 123, they're going to do it nice where the actual page name shows, which is also helps with SEO. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down here and do custom structure and then just get rid of whatever's here. And then the first thing we're going to click is category and then post name. So basically, if there's a page category, maybe it's a page that's nested under, for instance, services, and you have buyers, seller, investing. This would be real estate services, and then the post name will be the actual page name, whether it's your post or the actual web page itself. So we're going to do that. We're going to click save, and that's going to update our permalink, which is basically our URL structure. So now that we have that done, those are pretty much the basics. There's some tools in here too that talk about site health. You can import and export your WordPress. And that's what we kind of will talk about in a later video. You can edit your theme file, plugin editor. So the next thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to select a theme. So we can come over here to appearance and themes, and we can go ahead. So basically you get the basic theme, which comes with here. You can search themes. So you can say add new, and they're constantly putting in different themes. As you can see, you might find a free one that you like that works. I have never looked to see if there's any real estate. Let's see if there's any there for real estate. So there you go. So there's something that looks like a hotel, escrow. So you can actually click it and preview it, but it is only going to show you the pages that you have currently installed. So, so there's some other ones. So if you like these free ones and you want to customize them, go ahead. I like Aveda. It's a one-time $60 that you can install, and I will show you how to do that in a later. We'll go through the whole setup of Aveda. But again, if you want to apply a theme like this, let's say I like this one, I can come over here and say install. And then what it's going to do is install the theme for me. And that is going to make that the active theme once we click activate. And there we go. And so you can show here, here's the basic version of the theme, okay, that they give you. And then here's what you get with the premium as well. So, and you can also view theme demo to see kind of what it looks like. As you see, It looks very nice. Now, a lot of this is probably not going to integrate with your IDX. It's probably something that you have to manually load your listings in. But overall, it's not a bad looking website. You can literally customize it however you want. No problem there. So one thing to keep in mind with your themes, just make sure that they're going to be updated regularly to stay up to date with WordPress. You don't want your theme to not be compatible after a while because they're not getting any business. They're not popular anymore. That's again why I recommend Aveda. They've had over 1 million sales. I've been using them honestly for the last 10 years. They are great. Anytime I have a problem, they're there ready to solve it as well. So I highly recommend them. So let's take a look at a few other things. We'll keep this as our theme for now. Again, in a later video, I'll go through the Aveda theme. One last thing to show you with themes. Let's say, because you'll do this when you have Aveda, let's say they've given you a download. This is where you would upload that. You would just click upload, go choose your file, and it needs to be a .zip file, so a zip file. And then you would just install it, click activate again, and then follow that theme setup as well. So some other areas to note is one is post. Now, what are posts? Posts are basically like blog articles. Depending on what type of, sometimes you'll see like testimonials on the side here. You'll see featured properties. You can create like custom post types to where they will use this to create kind of data entry points to create feeds of things. But the most people that you'll use this for is for a blog article. So this is where you would add your weekly blog articles to here. To add one, you would just simply click add new, and then it's going to take you to the page. Now, this is the block editor, which is something that's on the newer side with WordPress. You're going to see a very different side as well. There's a classic view that you can see as well. But basically you come in here and put your title, and then depending on what you want, if you wanted a paragraph, an image, gallery, a list, maybe you wanted columns, you wanted to divide something into 2 columns, put a table, you can put all of those in, and you basically would just come in and drag and drop, or you can just click it into place and then upload your gallery of images. Okay, so that's how you would add all of your posts. And then your posts are separated by categories. So your categories here could be, maybe you want something about Houston market reports. And I like to put the city names in some of these, so it just helps with the area. So you can add Houston market reports, and maybe this is going to be real estate tips. Okay. So maybe this will be more of your educational. So you can sort these by categories. So if you want a feed to go on your page, you can do that. Another way to tag these would be kind of like, if you think like Instagram, like hashtags, maybe we are writing real estate tips, but we want to sort them by buyer. We want to sort them by seller, investor, renter. So what you can do is actually, when you create a post, you can set a tag for buyer. So you might filter real estate tips, but you only want to show the ones hashtagged for buyer on the buyer page, only the ones hashtagged for the seller on your seller's page, and things like that. So that's a quick overview of posts. We'll get into that more in depth when we start talking about blogging in our other videos. And one of the other things is your pages. Okay, so in order to create a page, you would simply click add new. And again, depending on your theme and the builders they have, this is again why I like Aveda. I think it's a little easier to use than this. You come in and add your page title. So this could be the home page, and then you would start setting up. Maybe you need to put in a slider or a banner. So they have full width banners, things that you can enjoy and use. But you basically go in and lay out your page accordingly, and then you would obviously publish it. You could save it if you don't want it to be live, but you would go through and add all your pages. So we'll just click publish for this one. Okay. And then once we do that, we will actually go back to WordPress, and there's your home page. So basically you might want to add a home page a buyer's page, a seller's page, a contact page, an about page, and a page for your blog feed. So we'll go in, and also I'll include my actual template that I've designed with Aveda and WordPress. So if you want to go look at that and kind of model it after there, maybe, I don't know, maybe you don't have the budget to purchase it, and you want to try to do it on your own without a little guided help, then you can go and just kind of look and see what I got content on the page and try to emulate that yourself. Now, a couple other things I want to go over real quick to show you that you might need help with is, one, maybe you need to add another user. Maybe your assistant or your VA needs it. You can come click add new, and you would put in their username, email, first and last name. You don't really have to put website. You can just let it generate a password like this, and then it'll ask them to change it, and when it sends them an email. But you just have to decide what levels do you want. Are they just adding blog articles for you? Then an editor or an author, this allows them to make changes to pages, but your admin is what lets them create users, delete users, install stuff. So you just have to decide which permission levels you want to give them. And once you do that, you click add new user, and then it will email them to change their account. Maybe you need to change your password or update your information. You can see all the users here, and then you just click admin, and then you can add their profile picture. You can set up a bio about themselves for when they do, they write a blog article and you want to put the author section. You can change their nickname, how their name displays, all of those things. And a few other things that I realized that we need to talk about. When you first install your theme, you've created your pages, then you want to come over to customize, and you're going to need to just set your default settings. So a lot of times, depending on the theme, on these free ones, a lot of your settings will be here about changing colors, post settings, header images, background images, controlling your menus, all of that stuff. But what we're going to change is the homepage settings. So what do we want our homepage to be? Your latest post. So this would show the latest blog article as the homepage, which we don't want for real estate. So what we're going to select is a static page, meaning it doesn't change. And then we're going to select our homepage, which would be our homepage or whatever page that you called it. And then it'll give you a preview of it. Obviously, we need to add content to it. And then you can select a post page. This will automatically put a feed of blogs on that page. A lot of themes will just let you manually put it in, so you have more control. So I usually leave this blank. And you can also come right here and customize it and say add new page, so it automatically links. And then we're going to say publish, so that way when we go to this, automatically the home page is the home page. Okay. So some other things that we need to look at is, we've got that. We need to talk about WordPress updates. So when your updates come in, you're going to see that your plugins and your updates are going to need to be updated. So you can come over here to updates, and it'll show you a list of everything that needs to be updated. You can just highlight and select them. The order of updates is very important. Obviously, you're going to want to back up your website, which we'll talk about in our later series of how to do that. But on WordPress updates, the order of update is you want to make sure WordPress itself is updated first, and then you update your theme next, and then your plugins. So WordPress is number 1, themes are number 2, plugins are number 3. You want to update in that order, and to make sure that everything works like it's supposed to. And so a few other things, you can add plugins. So if you come over to plugins, this will show you all the plugins installed. I usually delete these. You don't need these, but you can go search for plugins. So one of the plugins I like to use is all-in-one SEO. So you can just come over here, type it in, and you got to hit add new first. Sorry about that. So you go to add new, and now you can search the library of plugins. Now, a lot of these that are here are usually free. But they'll usually have a free version and then again a premium version. So all-in-one SEO, you can click that, and then it's going to show up. Here it is, all-in-one SEO. It's my favorite plugin. So you would just say install. Now you do want to be careful when you are choosing plugins. You want to see how many users are using it. Is it compatible with your current version? When was it last updated? See, a week ago, 7 hours ago, a week ago. So a lot of these have to keep updated with WordPress's updates because it could cause a conflict and your website to break. So make sure it has some actual installations. Like I said, this is one of my favorite SEO plugins versus Yoast. And then once you've installed it, you click activate, and then it will show. So it's just loading. I think my internet kind of went out for a second. So now we're here, and then you could customize this as well. So I'm not going to do that. We're going to do that in another video. So that's how you can add your plugins. So we've gone over the settings on how to install themes, how to add our pages, how to add posts, how to update our website as well. We've talked about all of the settings to change time zone, to update our permalinks as well, how to add users. So this is basically a general overview to get you started to be able to start building your website. And I'll do some other videos on, how to, lay out a page, how to think about a layout, how to design it, how to get inspiration. And we'll do more of this when we get into the Aveda aspect of it and my website builder. But again, remember, I do have this already done for you. If you would like to use it, just simply go down to the link below and click on that, that link to view my real estate website and sales funnels. So I hope this is helpful. So again, you just want to install it and give yourself time to learn. There's plenty of videos out there, and a lot of times the themes that you have will have plenty of videos on how to set up their theme or some type of documentation. So you'll want to follow that to be able to set it up properly. Well, I hope that information was helpful and it gives you everything you need to get on the right start for building your own real estate website. Now, I know a lot of you think this is going to be something you can do in a day or two, but on typical, even me as a professional, it takes me a week or two to build a website for a client. And that is just even if they have all the information turned in. So there's a lot of thought that goes into it, especially the content, the unique selling propositions, how a page is laid out, the design. So give yourself a break, give yourself a little bit of time. On average, it's probably going to take you a couple weeks to a month to be able to get something done. And find somebody that you trust to give you solid feedback that knows what they're talking about. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can leave your questions in the comments below. You can also, in the description is all of my contact information. Feel free to reach out to me. Remember, I do have a DIY real estate website platform that has funnels and landing pages, and it's all automated with Zapier. And it's a step-by-step kind of course that you can download. We set up the platform for you, and then you just follow the video step by step on how to set it up and customize the content. So it basically kind of is a little cheat so you can get it out there quickly, but still be able to customize it for your look and feel. So I will leave more information in the description below about that. If you're looking to get my real estate resources and training for free by partnering with me here at EXP inside of the Wolfpack, I will leave a link below so you can schedule a call with me. You'll get access to things like Karuvi, my website template, all that for free at no extra cost or split. And I'll show you what your business would look like here at EXP in that discussion call, no pressure. And so until next time, make sure you subscribe, give this video a like, hit that notification bell, and I will see you in the next video.